Welcome back to New York City, everybody. I'm Todd.
I'm Cole.
And between the both of us, we've coached over 15,000 classes here in New York City. So today what we're going to do, we have some questions. We're going to give you some answers based off of the experience that we have being inside fitness facilities. You ready, Coach?
I'm ready.
All right. First one that we got. Very common question, something that is very individual. Should you be working out in the AM or in the PM?
I tend to work out in the PM, like the afternoon, more than I do the AM, just because that's what my body likes. There is no wrong answer. I think the number one thing most of us have to think about in regards to when we should work out is where our schedules lie. Cool. Are we putting our fitness somewhere that we have very little excuses to get out of it, or are we putting our workout somewhere that sometimes tends to be busy and that's just an easy excuse not to work out? Sometimes I do that too. It's something I try to avoid. How about you?
I personally am a night person. I can stay up pretty late. 10 o'clock hits, no matter how tired I am, I get a second wind. Before I was in fitness, I used to work in tech. I used to work in San Francisco. And the only time, after a long days of work, I had no interest in working out. So the only time that I knew I could get my fitness in is if I did it first thing in the morning. Because what you were just saying before, right? There's no excuses. There isn't all these looming things that have hit your calendar throughout the day. So if you get it done in the morning, you know you're not going to have excuses. If you don't know, what you should just know, though, is whatever it is, it's going to take time to get used to, particularly if it's the morning.
Yeah, absolutely. The first couple weeks are not going to feel as good as it will once you get a good rhythm going. And I've had some 5 a.m. classes, I have some 5 a.m. clients, and some of those people do love to work out at that time, but a lot of them are working out at that time just because they don't really have a choice. Because in New York City, sometimes people work some pretty long work weeks. That's all they got, which is awesome. I love it. I love the hustle that gets you in and gets it done.
I've never had a 5 a.m. client. I don't know what I would even charge for that. So someone that chooses that is really impressive. I have taught some 5:30 classes, and the pretty common theme is no one really talks to each other for the good first half hour.
But I will say, my most consistent classes are always the people that work out that hour. It's part. They are always there.
Yeah.
Evening people, and I get it. Evening sometimes work things come up. We have friend things, so evening classes aren't quite as consistent. But the 5 a.m. classes, 6 a.m. classes that I've taught are just the same 12 people ready to rock every single morning. They know they're all great friends with each other, except they don't talk. You're right. The first half an hour is pretty quiet. I have to do all the talking.
You do feel great after it. By 6:30 or by that time the hour's over, you feel alive and everyone else is still asleep. So that is a nice feeling. And I will also say, because I've done the morning shift and I've done the night shift, really bouncing off what Cole was saying, the morning crew is a little more dedicated and a little more focused on their fitness than the night crew. It's a sweeping generalization, and there's that's definitely not about anyone specific. But if you're going to wake up at 5 to get at the gym by 5:30, then you're probably placing a little bit of a higher priority on your fitness. And the more you prioritize your fitness, the more enjoyment I get out of coaching the classes.
Oh, absolutely. I love coaching in the mornings. I don't love working out in the mornings, but coaching is different, so I like coaching in the mornings.
This one's very close to my heart. I love squatting. It's one of my favorite movements. The question is, do I have to squat all the way down? Let's say that differently. Should I be squatting through my full range of motion, or should I be stopping it short?
Squat all the way down.
Every time. Here's the thing. You're only going to get as strong as the range of motion that you train. So you should be going through your full range of motion to be developing full strength. If you're stopping short, it's either you're going to find yourself in a situation in the future where you are in a position where you haven't developed strength to be moving out of it. But the other thing is this. People are going to usually, I was trying to think how to word it. People will tell you maybe to stop at parallel, stop just below parallel, don't squat all the way down. And often what they're saying that because there's something called posterior pelvic tilt or butt wink, which happens in squatting where when you're coming down, as you go below parallel or a little more, you start to get this rounding of the back and the butt kind of tucks down a little bit. The reason that's happening is not because you are squatting too low, it's because you're squatting with improper form. Because if you are keeping your core fully engaged the whole time, that will not happen. You will go through your full range of motion, but you'll stop at a certain point. It's when you relax that middle that allows that rounding to happen and that butt to be tucking. So if you are experiencing something like that, and it's super important that you aren't doing that you are keeping that neutral back the whole time. If you are experiencing some sort of rounding when you're going low, you need to just be working on or finding someone to help you learn how to work on keeping your core engaged through that full range of motion. What do you think?
You know, if you want to talk about safety, cool, and healthiness of your knees, I know everybody likes to have healthy knees, myself included. There are two types of forces when you squat, right? There are compressive forces, aka smushing together, and then there are shear forces, which are when your joints and things move side to side, kind of grind on each other. Compressive forces are really great. Shear forces aren't bad, they just put more pressure on your body. Compressive forces are everywhere. And there's study after study showing that the highest shear forces, that like squeaking by in your knees, happen right above parallel, which is okay because you have to move through that position, but that's one of the reasons why we don't want to stop right above parallel or at parallels, because that's when those shear forces are at their highest. You want to let yourself go all the way down to the bottom of your squat, that way you can use some nice compression to bounce out of it.
Next question.
Yeah, what is it?
Great question. The question is, what is Pilates?
Beats me.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
If you can tell us what Pilates is in 3 sentences or less,
Please comment below.
please put that down in the comments,
I have
and we
no
will
idea what
definitely share that next time.
Yeah, I'll
3
talk about it.
This is super important. Not like those there's not like no run-on sentences. 3 complete sentences of what Pilates is, and then we'll share with that next time. And how do I start working out? This is super easy for us to answer. You first go to YouTube.
I would go to YouTube.
Yep.
And I would click a link on the Outfit channel for our boot camp series.
Boot camp challenge workouts.
You could possibly find that link under this video.
If we remember, it's going to be down in the description. I only give that a 50-50 chance, though. We do have the boot camp challenge workouts. It's 12 workouts. You'll do them over the course of a month, so 3 workouts a week, plus there's a bonus abs workout every week. You only need 1 dumbbell or 1 kettlebell to do that. Everything else we're going to walk you through online. So that's a great way to start doing it. None of the moves are super technical. 4 weeks in, you're going to have a pretty good idea of just how you feel about it overall. It's also 100% free. It's just all on YouTube. So
If it's free, it's for me.
yeah, you're already here on YouTube, so it's like not much further. But outside of like shameless promoting, what else would we recommend for how can you start working out?
Go.
Yeah, just start doing something. And I know that sounds maybe basic or like just an easy answer, but if you just pick something 3 days a week and you carve out the time and you put it in your calendar, you could start for the first couple weeks on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. walking for an hour. And if you start walking for an hour, maybe you grab the podcast like Coach Coal was saying, over time, you're going to start to get not bored, but you're going to start to get like, okay, I got this. I can go for something a little more challenging. And so then that walk can start to turn into a run. And then that run can start to turn into something else. But what's important is that you like block out that time every week and you just commit to yourself for 3 hours over the course of the week that you're going to do something. And you will find that you'll want to start progressing. It's just actually starting it and committing to it and putting it in your calendar. That's the hardest part. Once you start that ball moving and that momentum going, you'll start to figure out what you want to be doing in the future.
First time you see yourself get better at something, then you're hooked. Then you're like, oh, I gotta keep getting better.
Yeah, seeing results.
Absolutely. And then I also think another great way to start working out is ask your friends. Be like, hey, do you want to go to this class with me? Do you want to go here? Do you want to let's go join a pickleball club? All right, that's fitness. Friends.
A pickle? Is that a thing?
Yeah, there's a huge pickleball club across the street from me.
What is pickleball?
It's kind of like, it's played on a tennis court, and you're played in the front 2 boxes, and it can be singles or partners, and it's like almost like a wiffle ball golf ball,
okay,
but bigger and harder.
Okay.
And you hit it with wooden paddles. I played it in PE in high school.
Okay.
It looks super fun, and I've always watched it and been like, damn, I wish I could do that. Pickleball. Anyway,
okay.
that's besides the point. That's what pickleball is. I'm terrible at it.
Is that called other things in other places?
It's called pickleball. There's like a USA Pickleball Association. I wrote a paper on it for my high school PE class.
Friends make a big difference. Before I moved to New York City, I never in my life would have considered taking a group fitness class. I just thought that wasn't something for me. And then when I moved to New York and I had got laid off from my tech job, and so I started taking some group fitness classes, and I just like having that support and meeting people. Like when you take classes of things that you're actually interested in, and then you meet other people that share those same interests, again, it just becomes the start of something where you might not know where your fitness journey ends, but it's a really fun journey to be on. These questions, where did we get these questions? We Googled, we got some like, what's the company called? They featured us before, Outfit.
BuzzFeed?
A BuzzFeed, this is a BuzzFeed list. So this is from a BuzzFeed list. If you have some questions, again, we have over 15,000 classes that we've done, so we've been in the gym for quite some period of time, so feel free to leave it down in the comments. We would especially love it if someone could tell us in 3 sentences or less what Pilates is.
I don't know, so.
I also don't know. I feel like this is a fun challenge. If multiple people give us answers, we'll share all of them with you next time. We'll have a video out next week. Until that happens, I'm Todd.
I'm Cole.
Until next time, peace.